We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Tonight it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store. Between the Washington Commanders and the Arizona Cardinals. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. To throw right away is Howell. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. On the move past the 40. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play there on the first play of the game. 43 yards.
We had an idea that they might come out and challenge this secondary, but I don't know if we thought it'd be right out of the gate on the very first play of the game. But they did so successfully, they've got to feel good about how things have started.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd down, Howell back to pass. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now it's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins with career touchdown number 75. And And the Cardinals are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Hal to throw on 2nd down. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of the game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
With it is Brown. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings, because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right, because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The Cardinals had 5 and 6 to start play, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Play action. Now it's Murray. Pass to the right, and he's got McBride. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out there setting ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Isaiah Simmons able to record his 5th sack of the season. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy, and the Cards are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chase Young able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And in this 1st quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Out there setting ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their 1st interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll go play action. Powell. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. These 2 teams all tied after 1. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 21. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Powell trying to pick it up on 3rd. And this pass broken up. But the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
They'll run for it with Robinson. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
And a nice call and really good execution there, because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle, perhaps. You know, you don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on him. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Murray has it knocked loose, fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Powell, he'll look to throw it. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Howell. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. Prater on to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On 2nd and 10. Howell. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass. A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good. How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though. They run the draw here with Robinson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Little bootleg here. Howell. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Sly able to put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game. And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Throwing on first down is Murray. He's going to air one out for Anderson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Robbie Anderson, 58 yards. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes it a 21-10 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Throwing here, Howell. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Howell throwing on first down here. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. And once more, Howell back to the air. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cardinals will take over possession here up at the 44. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before half for Murray. Dancing to his left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Murray. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Jamin Davis there to bring him down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
From the 40 now on second down. Murray. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Throwing now is Murray. Found his target. It's Anderson. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Swift. And some room to maneuver. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
That's to McBride, and he has it. Touchdown, Cardinals. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Now this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. First down, Howell to throw. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Once again, it's Swift. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. First and 10.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The sack by the linebacker, Jamin Davis.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking the lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Murray with a third and long. That'll be caught by Anderson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And it looks like, yes, the Commanders have it.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll take over after that pretty clutch force fumble as they begin inside their own 5-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Gibson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Second down, Howell back to pass. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Well, it's pretty evident that's not the way you want to try and establish momentum ahead of a possible fourth-quarter comeback because you needed points there, at least something to build out for your next series. That was neither. Instead, it's a huge play for a defense that now has no doubt it can finish this game off.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try to...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat, his 2nd sack of the night. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 45-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 77 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
To throw, it's Murray. It's complete to Brown, right side. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but The self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Now, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And there he goes, left side. 20, 10, touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Swift, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. After the touchdown, out is Price. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
It's Howe with another throw. Completes it to Samuel. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Faking the handoff. Howell. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
To throw again on second down. Powell. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cardinals are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Another run for Brown on second down. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, here comes Swift. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On 2nd and inches, Powell. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now try to pick it up on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Able to connect with Dotson. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Powell to the air on 1st and 10. Going right back to Dotson. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Powell looking to throw again. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Powell throwing on 3rd down here. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory. So for the Cardinals, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the